Alright guys, periods 1 and 2, this will be the first video you guys are seeing. Periods 3 and 4, I apologize. There was a mess up with the link yesterday, so the video you ended up seeing, assuming the teacher showed it to you, was not the video I wanted you to see. I'm sorry about that. Today the video is going to cover what we're going over on the quiz tomorrow. We are definitely focusing in this quiz on exponential growth and decay, how to graph an exponential function, how to write an exponential function from a graph. So let's go ahead and start with identifying growth and decay. When we identify growth and decay, you're just going to follow a very simple flowchart. You start up here with the first question, which is the base greater than 1? Now, very important, ladies and gentlemen, as I go through this, I would appreciate it if you guys were copying down as I went. You'd be taking notes on this because this is your only review for the quiz you're about to take. So is the base greater than 1? There are two options to answer this question, two ways to answer this question rather. It's either a yes or no question. So now what we're going to do, very important here, is we're going to go ahead and is the base greater than 1? Yes, you're going to ask yourself this following question. Is the exponent positive? Some of you guys will already have this written down in your notes. That's fine. I need you to write it again. If you don't have it written in your notes, you definitely want to copy this down. If you do have it written in your notes, do it again anyways. So again, this one you have two possible answers to. Your exponent is either positive or it's negative, right? So if your exponent is positive and the base is greater than 1, you are dealing with exponential growth. If the exponent is sorry guys, I get tongue-tied sometimes. If the exponent is negative and the base is greater than 1, then you're dealing with exponential decay here. There is a difference. I would love to be able to take the time to explain to all of you why we're dealing with growth versus decay, but to be completely honest, we're running so far behind, I'm not going to take that time. If you can identify it, that's great. Next unit, we'll start talking more about justifying, explaining, and understanding why everything is working again. So now, this is one half of your flowchart. We follow it out, and what you would do is you would ask yourself, is the base greater than 1? If the base of your function is greater than 1, you would say yes, and then you would ask, is the exponent positive? If it is not positive, you'd say no, and your final answer would lead you to decay. It's a pretty simple process. So over here, you're going to ask yourself the same question. I know it seems redundant to write it twice, but the reason we have to is because your answer to this question will lead to different results here. So is the exponent positive again? If you say yes here, then you're dealing with decay. And if you say no here, you're dealing with growth. Now, here's what I would like you guys to do. Go ahead, pause this video. Make sure everybody has this copied down, and then when you're ready to go, push play again. Alright, so the next piece we're going to talk about is how do we graph an exponential function. So let's say I give you a graph or a function. It says f of x equals 2 to the x minus 4. How do we graph this? Well, the first thing we do is we identify three pieces. You want to identify the point where x equals 0, x equals 1, and your asymptote. Okay? So the first thing we do is we go ahead and we just plug 0 in for x. So f of 0 equals 2 to the 0 minus 4. Anything to the 0 power is 1. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Then we go ahead and we plug 1 in. F of 1 equals 2 to the 1 minus 4. Okay. F of 1 equals 2 minus 4, or negative 2. That's pretty basic. I'm pretty sure all of you guys could have done that on your own. Not a problem. The asymptote is a little more difficult. When we identify the asymptote, well, it's not difficult. It's just weird. The asymptote, quite literally, is defined by this piece right here. Whatever you are subtracting or adding. So your asymptote at this point occurs when y equals -4. So one more time, your asymptote is y equals whatever the addition or subtraction is on the end of your function. Now, great, but I'm using the word asymptote like you actually know what it is. An asymptote is a line on a graph that your graph will get infinitely closer to but never touch. So watch how we graph this one, okay? We come over here, we draw our y-axis, we draw our x-axis. It's not perfect, I understand that. And we go ahead and we go up to 0 or down to 0, -3, put our first dot. 1, -2, put our second dot. Now, I apologize, there is one more piece you have to ask yourself. Is this growth or decay? So we're going to go back to that flowchart that we just did. My base is positive, my exponent is positive, so we know beyond a doubt that this is growth. So we have growth, we have an asymptote. Let's get this all graphed on here. Our asymptote occurs at y equals -4. I'm going to represent that with just a dashed line. Since it's growth, I know it is going to start slowly and build up quickly, just like what I drew down there. So I'm going to take this picture right here, this image, I'm going to make it match on my graph. So it's going to pass through these 2 points, and we're going to have something that looks similar to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. These 4 pieces are what truly define an exponential function when you're talking about graphing it. I'm not going to go through another one right now. We're starting to get kind of long on the video. I don't want to waste your time, or well, mine doesn't matter, but I don't want to waste your time here. So what we will do, if you are confused on this, go ahead and ask the substitute after the video to go to room number 1002, and I will explain. I'll give you another example. Go ahead and make sure you have everything on the screen copied down, and we'll be moving on in just a second. If you need to pause it, go ahead. Alright, sorry about this. In case you're wondering, it is really weird to teach a computer. It's just kind of awkward to sit here in a room and talk to a computer all day. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to identify the last piece that you need to know for this quiz, and that is how to build an exponential function when given a graph. Here's how easy it is. When you're given a graph, that graph will look like this. It'll have, let's go ahead and do 1/2, and then we'll do 1 and 2. Graph will be exponential growth. Okay, so we're going to go back through and we're going to identify all those pieces that we already had to graph a function once we knew it. So we're going to start with 0, comma. Well, it looks like that crosses the y-axis at 1/2. Then we have 1, comma, let's count it, 2. We are dealing with an asymptote of 0, so there's nothing being added or subtracted here. Y equals 0. And finally, we are dealing with exponential growth. So, I know I'm going to have f of x equals something to the x power. X is positive. That something, here's how we find it. You guys ready for this? Anything to the 0 power is 1. We know this. It's called the 0 power property. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So if I plugged in this 0 for x, this value would equal 1, whatever I'm looking for here. We'll call it b for now. Base to the x power. This in parentheses would equal 1. So I know that I'm going to multiply whatever's out here times 1/2. Alright, a little complicated so far, but you should be able to understand. One more time. My base to the 0 power will give me 1. Well, 1/2 of 1 is 1/2. So if when x equals 0, y equals 1/2, I have to, or I can say with confidence, that I have 1/2 times some base to the x power. Now, let's figure out what that base is. If I plug 1 in here, then this b to the first power will equal b, right? Well, then I know 1/2 b equals 2. So b equals, multiply both sides by 2, 4. So now I know my final function is f of x equals 1/2 times 4 to the x power. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. If you have any questions on anything we've covered so far, go ahead and go to room 1002, and I will be more than willing to help you out. Go ahead and make sure everybody's got this copied down. I'm going to clear the slide a little bit so that I can give you a look forward on what we're doing. Alright, so today you guys are going to do a packet. Follow the instructions on the packet. The packet is due Friday or tomorrow, April 11th. On April 11th, or tomorrow, you guys will have a quiz. And we're calling it a quiz. It's really a test on everything we've covered on exponential functions. And then Monday, we're going to pick up and we're going to start the unit on, what it's called, statistics. There we go. If you have any questions on anything, one more time, come see me in room 1002. It's out the door and to your right, the next door over. Make sure that you come ask with any questions at all. Make sure you get your packet completed. It is going to be collected by the sub tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck and have a great day.